What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to GmiasWorld. Today we're going to be talking about this EA AP point increase and all the cheese that comes with it that EA don't want to tell you about. I'm going to specify a few things that's going to help you get your game up, and then you can go ahead and decide what you want to do. Now, if you guys follow me on social media, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, and Twitch, all at GmiasWorld, you would know that I tweeted out, you know, with the run stopper situation, run stopper is not the same thing that it was in Madden 20, and I was talking about switching up some of the stuff that was going on with the squad. For instance, Ted Hendricks, he was a guy that, you know, I always had the one, you get the run stopper for one, right? So pretty much, you know, I was thinking that the run stopper, similar to 20, it was pretty much, it stops everything, you know, no matter what, inside, outside, whatever. The way I used to run it out of my 4-6 bear, no, was it 4-6 bear? Yeah, it was. No. It was 3-4 bear in Madden 20, right? The edge guys, I gave them stuff like that, you know, like run stopper to kind of help make sure that there was no run. And then with the way the contains work last year, if you moved either side, you were getting sacked instantly. This year, it's a little bit different because EA Sports doesn't want you to get pressure on a regular basis. They want the QB to have time. Now, unless you blitz corners, the linemen will get nano-detected, which means they'll jog in place. When they have a straight line to the quarterback, EA Sports will let them jog in place. I've shown numerous, you know, videos, clips on Twitter, Instagram, all over the place. It doesn't matter. That's part of the game because they don't want instant sacks because most of the people that play the game are not that good. So they want to give them some time in the pocket to be able to throw the ball. Even if, you know, your guy does whatever, you know, like beats the guy or whatever, they'll still slow him down a little bit. Now, that's not even the major cheese. I just wanted to point that out. Run stopper is useless in this game because all it does is keep the sheds free. So you'll still have that bar above your player's head, which means that they have more rushes. That's all it does. So if you shed for the run on a play, you know, it just doesn't count towards that whole shedding situation with the actual bars and the amount of times that you have with your points. All right. Now, inside stuff, outside stuff, all that, no outsiders, all this stuff, this blows the run up. These are the ones that blow the run up. So if you're looking to like stop inside, stop the outside, these are the things that do that. I just wanted to clarify it for you to make you guys understand. As far as me trying out goal line stuff, this is an absolute joke. I would avoid that like the plague. It's a joke. But these two actually work. All right, so inside stuff and no outsiders, that'll be the way that you need to actually attack it and go from there. So, you know, like I appreciate EA Sports letting us know, you know, this is what it's about. You know, I got the information and I'm sharing it with you guys because, like I said, if EA does something right, you guys know, I'll be the first to let you guys know. You may not agree with me, but I don't care about that. I'm letting you guys know. If I feel they did something right, I'll let you know. If they, you know, give information that confirms, you know, or denies what I'm saying, I will definitely share that information with you because I just want you to have the best possible abilities out there on the field. So I would avoid run stopper for any run stopper archetype because the shed wins, it doesn't really matter. Unpredictable, some of you guys are saying that that's something that we should start using on the squad. We can go ahead and take a look at that later, but I want to go and start talking to you guys about the real cheese, right? So that settles that with run stopper. Use inside stuff or no outsiders to get the, you know, the full impact of stopping the run. All right, now let's go ahead and talk about this one step ahead foolishness, right? What happens now is this: if you want to be a real demon, you now have 12 ability points. Let me explain to you guys how you can be an absolute piece of garbage. All right. You can simply come out and put on 4 one-step aheads. Now, let's go ahead and try to understand what that's going to do. It's going to make your corners play like complete animals, right? So all you would really have to cover is the tight end. If they come out in the 5 wide receiver set, which is very, very rare, you would just blitz it and they would stop running that. But realistically speaking, what would happen is this. I'm going to go ahead and explain it and break it down to you guys. When you come out with 4 one-step aheads, number one, you haven't taken a shower in 6 weeks. So that's the first thing, right? The second thing is this. I might end up being one of those guys. So I might not take a shower in 6 weeks too. Like, bro, you didn't let me finish. Y'all thought I was just going to make fun of the dudes that's doing it. No, it's not. I'm not making fun of them because I've played players, even as recently as yesterday, that won clubs. That, you know, you probably look at it like this guy's not really that good at Madden. Like, what is he doing? But he won a club because the game is easy. You just have to know the right ability, right? You just have to know, okay, this guy will never get blocked if I do this. You just got to know stupid gimmicks. The game has changed, and I believe in my heart, right? Like, this is just my opinion. It was done on a corporate level. A lot of people that are at EA Sports actually love Madden, and they know that it's not what it's supposed to be. But money is the greater, like that's what's greater than everything else. Our feelings, like the way that anything, like that's not their job to worry about our feelings. All right, so at this point right now, this is where we are. This is where we stand, right? The game is a lot easier with the right gimmick. So if you were to go out there and just run 4 one-step aheads, right? The biggest issue you would have is your user would not be able to get pick artist. Now, why do I swear by pick artist? What is that big deal? Like why is it like, oh, yo, Gmi keeps telling me about pick artist? Because pick artist is something that allows you to limit the amount of bad timing drop user picks that you may see. Now, what happens is this, right? I don't really need to have it on Calvin because Calvin has a decent catch rating, right? He has a decent catch rating. So some of you guys look at that, you're like, yo, Gmi, he has a decent catch rating. He has a 99 catch. You know, why do you have pick artists on him? And then you realize you're playing an EA Sports video game. Okay, because that's sort of like Randy Moss having 99 jump. A 4 foot, like, yo, dude, listen, man, mini me from Austin Powers would pick him off in this game. Again, it's animation based. A lot of what happens in the game is automatically generated. You have no control over it. So you have to put yourself in the best possible situation to make a play. That's all I'm trying to explain to you guys. If you go the other route and you try to play real football, you will lose your mind playing Madden. There is nothing real about football in this game. Other than the players being real NFL players, there's nothing else that's real. Because everything that goes on in it, it's like, what the heck? Like, dude, just imagine this, right? They came up with something called, you know, rush points. Like, a player in the NFL actually has an invisible bar above their head where they have rush points. So when you have no rush points, you just don't rush. Like, you just stand there and it's like, all right, score me. And it's so ability based and animation based, you don't really have a choice but to make sure that you have the proper abilities on your player. So for me, the issue is this, right? I could go and say, you know what, I'm gonna run 1 step aheads. The biggest issue about it is this, like, look, say I use 3 of them, right? The one guy that I don't have it on, that's the guy that's gonna beat me every time. You see what I'm saying? Like, this game is really, really weird to the point where they give you just enough to be competitive, and then it's like, all right, what else do I have to do with this situation? There's not much else you can do, because that's one of the biggest things. That's why I don't want to run it, the 1 step aheads, because if you get caught up in that, right, and you get a guy that comes out and they run like I wing, like, bro, I got dudes that I played recently that came out running I wing the whole entire game. Dude hasn't brushed his teeth. He goes outside butt naked to get his mail and talks to the mailman in his face. You know what I'm saying, bro? Didn't brush his teeth for 6 weeks, and he's like, yo, I'm running I wing. And they got 3 abilities on their O-line, and they just went to town. Now, could I have stopped it? Yes, but I was playing like a pro player and running a stupid defense like Big Nickel or whatever. Listen, I digress. This is the issue, right? If you use up 3, let's say for instance you use 3, okay, what does 1 step ahead do? Many of you guys have been asking, okay, Gmi, what is 1 step ahead? What does it do? Why is it so important? Why are people going so crazy about it? What is the big deal, right? So look, let me explain to you guys what it does. We're gonna read what it says, and I'm gonna make sure you guys thoroughly understand this, right? Faster reactions to receiver cuts and man coverage. That is not true. What happens is, if your player is getting open, EA Sports developers, they slow your receiver down so that they can have the advantage. The only time that 1 step ahead actually does the faster reaction is if, like, you know, you run an in route and the guy takes a step and then they'll just catch up real quick or whatever. If you run the post with a guy with route tech, which I did yesterday several times, right? They'll slow the player down so that the guy with 1 step ahead can be in front to pick it. And no matter how you throw the ball, it will go to the defender. So pretty much what they're telling you is this. However they designed it, it's not based on what the writing says, because the faster reaction has nothing to do with it, because you can't control the way your receiver moves once you throw the ball. When you see the cut is there, they slow it down. So automatically the player with 1 step ahead is already in position. There is no fast reaction in most of those post routes and the corner routes. It's very disgusting the way you visibly see it. It's bad. It's really, really bad. And I did it over and over again yesterday live on stream. For those of you guys that watch GmiasWorld Gaming here on YouTube, you can see the full video. It is very, very bad programming because they stop the player. So no matter what you have on your offensive player, The one step ahead actually makes it so it doesn't matter, because they're going to be in the best position to stop the play. Regardless of what you're doing, that's what's going to happen. And that's what EA Sports has done. It is a very disgusting display of gaming. And that's what they do. And that's based on just me playing the game and seeing it and looking at other people play the game against one step ahead, which is why most people are using it, because it is a high advantage, because you don't have to worry about, you know, basic routes that would beat man. Your guy is going to get slowed down. Randy Moss slows down so that Dante Jackson with one step ahead can pick him off. So if it was just faster reaction, you would have the ability to let your receiver still go, but you can't. So that's why it's so effective. It pretty much just makes sure that it nullifies whatever the offensive player is doing. So more than likely what they're going to do, I don't believe that they'll tune it, because I think if they tune it, they'll break something else, so you won't be able to log in, or you'll have to delete the game and reinstall it like they did before. Most of the stuff is already preset in the game, right? They've added other things where now, you know, with certain hits like Deflator, all of a sudden you have no fatigue. Like your fatigue goes down to red immediately. What's happening is this is a manipulation of the game to make Madden 22 a better game. So what they're doing is they're putting out unfinished games, and then they're labbing themselves. You know, like how we lab to see if something works? They're labbing on us, but we're the lab mice. And then they're seeing like, okay, this is what's going on, and then they're fixing it for the next game a little bit more so that we can say that the game is a little bit better. But in hindsight, the games are terrible. But this is the thing that's very, very interesting though. The MUT content has been explosive. You know, as far as the way that they've added new ways for us to get abilities on our cards, you know, the physical things like stuff that they weren't able to do before and how they were able to get that in. The MUT content is really, really good. The issue is when you get on the field. So that's what I want to make sure you guys understand. If you go one step ahead, you're going to probably win a lot more games than not. Because if you have the right blitz, you don't have to worry about Randy Moss. You could have Usain Bolt. You could have anybody out there. They slow the player down. It's not a situation where you just get the faster reaction. It's automatic that they slow your player down. So what happens is you're automatically at a disadvantage because of the way that the ability works, which is why this is the biggest cheese in Madden in a long time. You know what I'm saying? So again, I don't like to run man coverage just because I cover so much more ground with zone. So I'm going to go a different approach, but I understand those of you that want to go ahead and try this out, because it is a very, very huge advantage. And trust me when I tell you, they stay right next to your receiver for the most part, even if you have route tech. And route tech was supposed to be the counter to kind of fight it off, but they did a horrific job with utilizing one step ahead because it alters the offensive player. It's sort of like Madden 17. For those of you guys that play Madden 17, please write number 17 in the comment section. Just write 17 in the comment section. Please do me that favor, because you guys know what I'm talking about. The swerve, right? The biggest thing about the swerve was that you control the defender when you were swerving. This is similar. The one step ahead slows down the offensive player to make sure that no matter what happens, they're in the area of the play. Now, can you beat this? Yes. You can motion your guy out, have him on a slant, have him on a post. You got to use motion and stuff like that. And then with the step, you'll be able to beat it a little bit. But most players that run this, they always have that deep blue, whether it's a linebacker or a safety in the middle, that will be able to counteract wherever you're at. So, you know, there's certain man beaters and different things you can do with it. But it's a very, very difficult thing to do if you just want to run a standard post, a standard corner. They slow down your actual offensive player. So it is a lot of cheese. Now, should you do it? For some of my players, some of you guys are new to Madden and you're trying to get into it and you want to get some wins. What I would propose to you is for you to try it out. Because if you're having difficulty winning games, this would help you against any average player. Because they won't know why it's happening. Really? You don't know why? They won't know why it's happening. So you'll be able to take advantage of a player that doesn't really understand the game as much. And that's a huge factor. So I would try it if you guys were having issues with, you know, getting wins and understanding the capabilities of one step ahead, just to see what it does. You know what I'm saying, guys? We might experiment with it also during a live stream just to see exactly what it does. But I urge you to understand, if you get players that want to run the ball, your D-line, no matter how good it is, they will act like complete and utter idiots and not do anything. For the most part, you can still shoot the gap out of big nickel if you guys want to shoot the gap like a pro, you know, that's always going to be an option. You could run 3-4 and be a psychopath. There's a lot of things you can do, but I want to make sure everybody's, you know, fully aware. It could cause a lot of problems for you trying to do those type of things. So just be fully aware of that, and you know, understand that that's a real thing. You can encounter a lot of serious issues if you come out with just, you know, giving everybody the one step ahead, because your other players would need stuff. You could put X factors on them and then, you know, see if they make a play and then they get enraged and have the X factor light up. But, you know, it's a tough thing. But I understand the excitement, and it will help you in most cases get a lot more victories than not. I want to thank you guys and girls for taking the time out to watch this video. Hopefully this increased your knowledge of Madden and understanding of some of the abilities. If you enjoyed it, please go ahead and hit that subscribe button. Also follow me on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, and Twitch, all at GmiasWorld. Check out GmiasWorld Gaming and GmiasWorld Podcast right here on YouTube. And you guys go ahead and have a great day. I'm going to see you guys and girls next time. One love, y'all.